Good morning to all. And I want to send out a happy birthday to probably the greatest human being I've ever known. Myself. Yes. And this is the very last Carcino Uncut. Number 20. I don't know why I keep stopping at 20. But this is the last one. Now, I had to go and make some edits because of recent events. But I think you will enjoy. Check it out. Everyone is auditioning to be the next Manny Pacquiao since the position became available once Manny fell asleep behind the wheel. So the lane is open. You know, they saw all the money and stuff they made with him, so they hopefully somebody will pick them up and try to market them like they did Manny Pacquiao.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Hey, don't kill me, dude. I gotta work tomorrow, bro. Damn, I would've got knocked out right there. No, real, dude. I would've got knocked out. 20.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good, bro?
Time. Come on, 1, 2, 3.
One overhand.
Come on, honey. Go. Go, honey.
Okay.
And this is brought to you by Pacquiao. Yes, even Pacquiao has to sleep. Alright. Sugar Ray Leonard and Aaron Pryor. For those who don't know, because you're probably too young, Aaron Pryor was one of the most devastating fighters in the 1980s. And as an amateur, he beat Thomas Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard. Like, he would dominate him in the exhibition matches. And he trained at the Kronk Gym. In the Kronk Gym, they used to train and put on amateur fights. And they would call them exhibition matches because certain fighters wouldn't get a chance to see each other in the tournaments because one might have lost, and then all this talk about who was better in the streets. You know, like their team and that person's team, like, oh, we didn't meet because you lost and such and such. So they would have it out in these gyms, and the Kronk Gym was like the home for most of these fights. And they had like $5, and they had somebody working the popcorn stand selling their little candy. And you got to see the fighters that you liked in the ring in an exhibition match fighting each other. And those were like championship fights back in those days. People would love those fights. So Sugar Ray Leonard was fighting Aaron Pryor in these exhibition matches. And then they used him as a sparring partner for some of the other matches when Leonard was pro. And what happened was the Hulk would dominate him. I mean, dominate Ray Leonard. And it was so to the point where everybody in the streets knew Sugar Ray Leonard can't beat Aaron Pryor. Well, if he fought Aaron Pryor, he's going to lose. But when Ray became pro and Aaron Pryor was pro and Pryor's winning his fights, Ray Leonard would even look at him as a possible opponent because of the simple fact that Aaron Pryor to him was a high risk, no reward fight, because at that point Aaron Pryor is fighting for like $3,000, $4,000 a fight when Ray Leonard is getting like $1 million a fight. Then he's moving up to $10,000 a fight, you know, and $16,000, you know, and these guys are fighting for $600,000, $1 million paydays. So that's what's the difference with Ray Leonard's side of the story. You know, Pryor them took it as you're ducking me, and this is what it looks like. The people like, man, you ducking Pryor because they don't look at the money. you know, they don't see the numbers like how it is now. Back in those days, the numbers weren't thrown out in black and white. You couldn't just jump on the internet. So it's easier for someone to just say, well, I just don't want to fight you, and they don't know the reason. But in 1982, when Aaron Pryor finally beat Alexis Arguello, because Thomas Hearns wouldn't fight him either, because they already knew that's a bad fight for Thomas. Emmanuel Stewart would keep him away from Aaron Pryor. Now, in 1982, after he beat Alexis Arguello, and he was the man, when Leonard was in retirement, Leonard came back out of retirement, and they looked at the possibility of fighting Aaron Pryor. And this was told to me by people who were closest to the situation. They said Ray Leonard's team wanted to do the fight with Aaron Pryor after the Alexis Arguello fight. When Ray was retired and he was thinking of coming back, they said, well, let's try to offer him a fight and see what happens and lure him into a fight. But they wanted him to take drug testing throughout the training camp. Now, see, this is the first time you probably have heard of this, or you probably heard about it back in the 80s, but that killed the fight. Aaron Pryor's side did not want to take additional testing before the fight. And that killed the deal, because Ray Leonard wanted testing done before the fight and after the fight. And they were not having it, and there you have it. That's why the fight didn't take place. And then Ray Leonard ended up coming back fighting another guy, and he was looking flat for a while. Then he got rid of the guy like he was supposed to. But that's what happened, from what I was told. And we check out another exhibition match in the 90s. We have Gerald McClendon, who was the second best coming to Thomas Hearns. You know, all the announcers love to say, this is the next Thomas Hearns, this is the next Thomas Hearns. See, but unfortunately for him, back in those days, even when you were pro, you still went back and did amateur matches, exhibition matches rather, for your gym, or you would work with the fighters they had come in, and then you put on an exhibition with them. This was like tradition. You know, they're getting a like world-class experience, you know, in this gym. And even though both were pros and both had fights coming up, they had an exhibition match against each other. Thomas Hearns and Gerald McClendon. And you will see, without a shadow of a doubt, Thomas Hearns wanted to show him he was superior first. Then he started teaching him through the fight. Now I'll put the link to that in here in the bottom. I want y'all to click there. Y'all can check it out. I'm gonna put it on the site, but I'm gonna put it there first because I want y'all need to watch it in its entirety instead of watching a clip. You know, it's best to watch it in its entirety so you can get to see what I'm talking about. And next we go, what's next for Manny Pacquiao? Oh, and I'm not going to even make any jokes about this. I'm just going to be serious and give you my thoughts on what's next for Manny Pacquiao. At this point in Manny Pacquiao's career, he should seriously think about retirement. Because what you saw was a guy that evened the playing field. Now, if this is an even playing field, and this is the results that happen to Manny Pacquiao, what happens when he's on an even kill with everyone else? You know, so it's a different story when you go into a fight and your hand's not tied behind your back, and the other guy got two hands like you got two hands, and he can move when you move. You're not bigger than him, he's not bigger than you. Everybody's on an even kill. Now you get to see who's really the champion and who's really the glorified champion. for a so-called paper champ. And I enjoyed every minute of it. It's a life lesson. And I think right now, I mean, he's going to fight again because he has no choice. But I do know the Marquez camp wants to do a rematch with Floyd Mayweather. I do know that for a fact. They've been keeping it quiet. Marquez is not going to retire. He wants to try to get a one more rematch with Mayweather now that he got this power all of a sudden. It's driving him insane. He's loved this big fight. And he think now that he got the power, it would make the difference in a Mayweather fight. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that too in the comment section. Let me know if y'all think a Mayweather fight is something that he should be doing. And this is the last Carcino Strikes Back. I mean, not Strikes Back, but Uncut series. And number 20 is done. What else new I could tell you? Mayweather and Roger Mayweather, they're kind of not seeing eye to eye. I mean, it's not like they're not seeing eye to eye. It's just that Roger's health may hinder him from being able to perform the duties that Floyd needs him to perform. So I wouldn't be surprised if Roger Mayweather isn't the head trainer for one of these upcoming Mayweather fights. That note, I love everybody that come over and post and share thoughts on my videos and view them, even though YouTube want to try to block my tags. It's all good. We still got I'm happy for every hit we get, you know, because that's all legit. No, all those bots and all that. I don't want bots. I don't need hits. I need people to come check it out. So that's who I make it for. The people. Well, Pacquiao, it's good to see. You know, he's not taking it laying down. Well, he kind of is, but he's on the beach. You know, like he's working on his tan a little bit. You know, can't hate him for that. You know, after the hellacious shots he took in the fight, you know, I think this is good for him.